Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Get Firm podcast. I'm Mike Hartman and I am your host. We are coming at you live on a Wednesday afternoon. Why? Because today, for some reason, I have a lot to say. So I'm on my personal page and I'm talking to people about how it doesn't really matter what you're striving for as long as you're striving for something. And I always use the example that I used to hear from Andy Frisella. And he said, if you're making French fries for a fast food restaurant, make sure you're making the best fries you possibly can. Take pride in your work. Sweep the floor if it needs to be sweeping. But eventually, you want to own that place where you made the fries, or you want to own something like it. Strive to be better. Strive to go forward. Strive to stop being mediocre. It's just not worth it to be mediocre. Remember that. So today, right now, 107,499 is the price of Bitcoin. So guys, something crazy happened this week. I'm coming out of the weekend and Bitcoin's at about $98,000. And that's actually one of my set points where I said if it would drop to $98,000, I was going to sell and take out some of my profits. Well, Monday morning came around and I was like, you had the potential bombs going off with Israel and Iraq, and you didn't know what was happening there. And I was like, you know what? I think this might drop just a little bit more, but I'm going to give it some leeway. So I decided if it goes to 96,000, then I'll sell some of my profits. But it didn't. It went from 97 or 98-ish thousand to 107,573 right now. It's almost at 108,000. It actually touched 108,000 today. So I've been telling anybody who will listen, buy a little bit of Bitcoin. Saw a chart yesterday. If you own 0.1 Bitcoin, that's 1/10 of a Bitcoin, to 1 full Bitcoin, you're in the 2 to 10% of largest owners of Bitcoin in the world. So you might as well get some. 0.10 to 10 grand. Why not? 10 grand might be a lot. So start with a little bit if 10 grand's a lot. But yeah, I think you might want to get some. Bitcoin and XRP are long-term holds for me. Just like the S&P 500, VOOG, which is the growth one, MGK, which is the mega cap growth one. Some other ones that I'm looking into right now. AIQ, Artificial Intelligence. ARK, ARKK, Innovation Fund, Kathy Woods. Joby, Aviation, Surf, Mobility, Aviation. Those are some of the ones that I'm kind of looking at right now. And I'm still a long-term holder of Celsius and NVIDIA. So anyway, I think you should look into Bitcoin at least. There's a little book of Bitcoin, which I read recently and recommended on here. Awesome read. So some new music that just came out that I think you would enjoy is, if you're into the piracy, you'd listen to the Alestorm album. Awesome pirate music. They consistently talk about rum, drinking, having a great time. It's just good stuff. Good old-fashioned fun. Listen to it while you're working out. I would not recommend trying to take a nap to it, though, because there's a lot going on. But two other bands are great to work out to, Malevolent and Cryptopsy. Cryptopsy. Came out on Friday. Pretty damn good stuff. All right. So let's get into the fitness section of this podcast, which is always 10 minutes long, and you never know what I'm going to say because I'm just kind of hanging out here. But anyway, if you do find any value in this, share with your friends because I don't want this podcast to get huge. I don't care if it does or not because this is an outlet for me. But I do think people find it entertaining. And I do think people need to know more about fitness and investing. And then the reading and the music's just kind of for fun because it's things that I like. But right now, we are at June 25th. And the gyms are kind of calm right now. There's not a whole lot of people there. And I think that's because everybody's kind of going on vacation and stuff. But I don't know where you are, but it is hot AF here where I am. And for the moment, that's okay. I'm enjoying it. I will take 95 degrees with relative humidity over 20 degrees any day of the week. So, fitness. Why aren't you doing it Why? If you're not currently working out, why are you not? I've been thinking about this a lot, and one of my clients actually said it to me today. She can't understand why someone would not exercise. And I agree. If you're able to walk, you don't have any huge medical issues or bodily function issues, yeah, just walk and lift a couple days a week. That's it. And your future body will thank you. And I realize like lifting might not be everybody's thing, but like it creates a nicer looking body. It creates better systems in your cellular function and your organs. It creates better mindset, better sleep, keeps your stress levels down. Because we all know everybody got crazy stress going on in this world. And that's one of those things that if you don't address that, it's going to put you into an early grave. I saw a TikTok video the other day where it was body positivity. And the woman was pointing out that a lot of the people that were saying it's okay to be morbidly obese, they died. That's sad. Because, I don't know, these people were young. They were 40, 50, 60 years old at the max. And they died because they were morbidly obese. And, like, there's all kinds of stuff you can do to try and get in shape now. GLP-1s, there's new medications come out that are not going to be quite as bad for you. They'll be muscle sparing, where GLP-1s don't really discriminate. They destroy muscle tissue unless you're pumping the protein, which is very hard to do if you're only eating 6, 7, 8, 900 calories a day. There's not enough food. Very simple. Your goal body weight times 10 is about as low as you want to eat in calories, right? So if you want to be 180 pounds and that's your goal body weight, 1,800 calories is as low as I would take you if you were working with me. The opposite is for muscle building. So 10, ultimate weight loss, times 15 is maintenance, right? So if you're going to be 200 pounds, 15, 3,000 calories would be about maintenance. Somewhere in that ballpark, between the 10 and the 15. 20 would be muscle building, but also probably some fat storage. That would be 4,000 calories a day. So what you're figuring out if you want to be times 10 or by 10 times 20 based upon your body type. So if you're an endomesomorph like me, which means I can put on fat pretty easy, but also build muscle, I stay at about times 13. So 200 pounds, 225 is where I want to be, times 13. Those are the calories that I'm consuming. If you're an ectomesomorph, you're going to be between 15 and 20, probably 17. Because ectomesomorph means you have a really hard time building muscle, but also you have the ability to build muscle. And then there's the extremes. Endomorph, you get fat very easily. Ectomorph, it's the opposite. You have a really hard time building muscle. Mesomorph, think Arnold Schwarzenegger, the person that builds muscle very, very easily. Yes, he worked hard. Yes, they all work hard. But there's certain people with genetics that could do basically anything and get in amazing shape, right? I'll end the fitness there for the day. New book I'm reading, V.E. Huntley, Damnation series, #1, The Bloodstone Legacy. This is cool. I just ordered the second one today, actually yesterday. It's going to be a 3-book series. If you like the show True Blood or you liked any type of vampire show, this is great. And it kind of like, it's a mash between Halo and True Blood. They should really turn this into a show or a movie. Maybe they're going to. But V.E. Huntley, check it out. Damnation is the first book in the series. Honestly, I needed something different. I do the Dean Koontz, I do the Stephen King, nonstop finance, investing books, things like that. By the way, I'm actually considering getting my certification to be a financial advisor. So as of now, this is not financial advice on this podcast, but eventually it might be. We will see how that goes. I've been doing the personal training thing for about 20 years, and I still love it. But man, some days I'm just like, I kind of want to do something a little different. And I really do like helping people with investing. And I've had people coming up to me lately asking me for advice on investing. And it's pretty simple, and I'll give it to you right now in the last minute or so of the show. But for me, right now, you want 40% VOO, S&P 500. 40% QQQ, the NASDAQ. 10% Bitcoin. Maybe 2% of that is XRP. Then you want to take that last 10%. and pick some single stocks. Maybe 4 or 5. Tesla, Apple, IonQ, Joby, Google, Meta, Netflix, Costco, Walmart, John Deere. Big companies. NVIDIA, AVGO, Broadcom. Pick 5 big companies. That's 10% of your portfolio. VOO, 40%. QQQ, 40%. 8% Bitcoin, 2% XRP, 10% is made up of 5 stocks. That, my friends, you will never go broke if you buy and hold that portfolio. Not advice, but something to look into. Because you know what? Here's what most people do. They take $100,000 and they bet the farm on NVIDIA. You know what? Even NVIDIA could crash. You don't want just NVIDIA. You want a few ETFs, AIQ if you want some artificial intelligence, ARK if you want some active management by Cathie Woods, who either does this, she kills it, or she goes. So she's really good when she's great, and she's really bad when she's not. But she's still awesome, and she does a lot of research. So Cathie Woods, keep doing what you're doing. We enjoy it. Anyway, that's the portfolio that I would recommend to anybody who has no idea what they're doing. Start with $100 a week, and that breaks down $40 S&P 500, $40 QQQ, $8 Bitcoin, $2 XRP, and $2 in each of the 5 stocks you pick. Set it on autopilot, $100 a week. If you're in your 20s, $100 a week for the rest of your life, you're going to make money and you're going to be just fine. If you're my age, you need a couple $1,000s a week if you haven't started yet. If you're 60, you're fucked. Sorry. You're not going to become rich. Not unless you're making, let's say $300,000 a year. Then you might be able to catch up. But yeah, this is a young man's sport. You got to get started young. The younger you start, the better off you're going to be. So there we go. That's it. That's it. I went 2 minutes and, whatever over, but get fired up once in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got value from this podcast, the Get Firm podcast is just me trying to get firm and stay firm with my friends. And this is by no means associated with anything else I do. I just do this because it's cool. And I even got the shirt to prove it. That's me, sort of, with a lot more steroids and a lot more beard. See you next time. Ciao.